Agree to a ceasefire or reject one. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu under intense pressure from all sides.
He's mired in this impossible and untenable situation.
Starting with his own government, a coalition propped up by far-right cabinet ministers, threatening to end Netanyahu's premiership, demanding no deal with Hamas and a full-scale assault on Rafah. Pushing the other way, families of the hostages and their supporters. Many accuse Netanyahu of not doing enough to free their loved ones, held captive by Hamas for 7 months. Their anger more palpable every day there's no deal.
We expect from the Israeli government to take this deal to save all the remaining hostages.
Add to that pressure from Israel's most important ally, the U.S. now openly using military aid as leverage.
They go into Rafah. I'm not supplying the weapons.
So much for Netanyahu to consider, but critics say it's his own political future worrying him most.
He has this Louis XIV syndrome, where he thinks he embodies the state and the state embodies him.
Unpopular before the war, polls suggest Netanyahu will almost certainly lose the next election. Out of power, he'd be back in court, facing various corruption charges.
He knows that the moment he's out of power, it's not just the historians who are going to cast him negatively. It's the court that is going to expedite his trial.
For now, the message from Netanyahu and supporters of the military campaign is that a Rafah invasion is necessary.
This will bring an end to the war because we will have essentially brought Hamas to its knees. He does want to reach a deal, but not one that places Israel in a position of defeat.
Netanyahu promised absolute victory against Hamas. Anything less than that can be perceived as his own defeat.
He has repeated that many times since then, almost in every speech or every statement. We don't trust it anymore.
Frustration in Israel is rising. In a recent poll, a narrow but growing majority wants freeing the hostages to be top priority. A third said a Rafah offensive is more important.
Never in the history of Israel we had such a lengthy war. They didn't take the Hamas off. Rockets are, still coming. Hostages are not harmed. How long can it go like that?
A question only Netanyahu can answer, seemingly running out of time to decide. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.